I know that when the president signed just a few weeks ago, I discussed this on the program too, but like I said that day, there are also different angles to read. How do we also know the aspects whereby the power sector players will play in this whole process? But I want you to start by explaining to Nigerians right now that may be hearing this for the first time, what that power decentralization mean, what the signing into law of that bill means for an average Nigerian. What does it mean, really? Not so technical, in a very primary form.
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. What the president signed into law is more in response to the yearnings of Nigerians and the clamor for devolution of power. Power in this sense now meaning legislative power. The power to control the grid, power to make laws concerning electricity has been concentrated at the center. But with the constitutional amendment, the power has been passed to states now, state assemblies to make laws. And then let's just go back a bit, so to make it clear. From independence up to 1999, legislative competence, that is power to make laws over electricity, for example, has never been in the exclusive list. It's never been the exclusive preserve of the federal government. Up to 1999, the states, of course, the regions at independence, they had the powers to make laws concerning regulation of electricity. Even in 1970, under the 1979 Constitution, there was nothing like that in the exclusive list. It was in the concurrent list. The states had powers to make those laws. But, and that's where the distinction is, there was this big behemoth called NEPA. Yeah, there was the NEPA Act, which came into force in 1972, and that was under the military. And don't forget that when the military took over in the mid-60s, of course, military would normally suspend and modify the constitution. So, we'll have some form of unitary administration. So NEPA came in, and all the, became a monopoly. So all the powers to do the business, which is different from powers to make the laws. Powers to do the business was concentrated on NEPA. So, and NEPA was a federal government institution. And then the powers to regulate was given to the Minister of Power, the minister in charge of power at the time, under what was then known as the Electricity Act. So until 1998, you find out that nobody could enter into generation, transmission, and distribution business except NEPA. Then in 1998, there was the amendment of NEPA Act, which allowed some form of private sector involvement, particularly in generation. And of course, the Electricity Act was equally amended. Then the 1999 Constitution came and then added that, this phrase, not covered by the grid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not
so
covered by the
for
grid.
what you're saying now, the state houses of assembly can generate, transmit, and distribute, but they can't do that where there's national grid.
Yes, that's it. Again, let me explain again. Powers to make laws, we have to be very careful here. Legislative competence deals with powers to make laws. And that's what the president has done. President has said, look, states, you now have, we're through federalism, we're in a federation. States, you can make laws concerning generation, transmission, distribution now, unlike before, where it was restricted to the National Assembly. So you can make the laws, but the states have always had the powers actually to do the business.
That's actually
They've
where,
always had the powers.
asking,
yes, they've always had the powers to do the business. I run Niger Delta Power Holding Company today. Niger Delta Power Holding Company.
Co-owned?
Yes, 53% owned by states.
States,
yeah.
53%.
Yes, owned by
so
states.
the remaining 47 is between local governments.
No,
and
53% owned by states
States
and
local
governments.
Okay.
47% by
federal government.
By federal government. And many states had in the past, invested in the electricity undertakings. You have River State, you have Akwa Ibom,
Ibom.
you have, in fact,
Lagos.
it started with Lagos State. It started with the current president-elect, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who invited Enron. I'm sure some of us will remember that. In 1999, as far back as 1999. But again, I know that the position of the law at that time also frustrated that from achieving what it was meant to achieve. Yes, the generation was done at, in Lagos State, but it had to go to national grid. I'm sure at that time His Excellency intended it to be for Lagos State. But because of this kind of convolution in the law, it has to go into the national grid. So all that is now gone. I mean, with the constitutional amendment, states can now take their destinies into their hands, make the laws concerning these businesses, work with private partners to do these businesses, see how they can deepen electricity supply in their states. Yeah.